What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EraBody's podcast. I'm your boy, Ricky.
And I'm the Honorable Daren D. Parnell, the street speaker himself.
What's up, D? What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? We have a big weekend, man. It's been a long weekend.
It has.
And I see it's been a missing haircut weekend because both of us missed, huh?
Bruh.
We apologize to y'all. Normally we like to look good for y'all, man. We've been busy.
Yeah, man. And it's all about the women right now. You know, Essence Fest and, a lot of other stuff is going on.
Yeah.
So, as long as our women look good.
Yeah, I would say that. Shouts out to my baby. She is on a panel today with Essence Fest. We'll get to that later, but she's doing a remarkable job.
Yep. Shout out to you, Candy. So what's up, D? What's going on, man?
You know my cousin out, huh? He's on his way home.
Wait, who that?
Did he?
Did he?
Oh, man, the charges, I told you, man, my cousin coming home, man. And when I get my other cousin out, Ora Kelly, whoa!
Boy, family reunion.
Man, I'm telling you now. But I noticed this party, I told him we going to do it outside because I looked in the reports. Mm-hmm. None of the stuff ever happened outside. To ensure we don't get touched, we're going to go to the party outside.
Wait, I did see he had a large bed outside, bro.
Outside?
There was, I thought Chris Brown, Ray J.
No, none of that happened outside. All that happened inside.
That was it. So that big old bed was inside. No, I'm
saying they had parties and all that outside, but all the freakiness and all that,
or the freak house was inside.
Yeah. So we gonna be outside. So we don't get caught up because we ain't got did money to get the lawyers.
Sound like he know more than what we know.
But I would say this, in all honesty, y'all, as we look at this deals with so much. It deals with domestic violence.
Yeah.
It deals with sexual. I always tell women I have daughters and I have a mother. It will go as far as your respect goes as far as you let it go.
Right.
And I see too many times for women. Normally, you go to court after the trial, then they tell you how much money you get. Mm-hmm. We see in our society right now, how you rape and go to the lawyer before you go to the police.
Yeah.
So it's almost like this not even protocol. Where does protocol come from?
Yeah, I mean,
this rich people sport.
You know that,
but
it's not ours.
It's just puzzling to me that something like that will happen. Instead of going to the police, you go straight to a lawyer. They settle your case, and then they bring up charges against me, and I get criminal. When you look at the OJ case, he went through the murder thing first, and then he went to civil.
Right.
So, and it's amazing to me. And I would say this, and I joke, and I always say, did it, my cousin, I say this. They participated in that.
Yeah.
Now, when you don't get what you want, or what you was promised, now lawsuits come.
Well, this is the United States where you can sue for anything.
Yeah, I know.
You can sue for somebody hurting your feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Trump sued somebody for not calling him a billionaire. So I know you can sue for anything in this United States, but we got to get serious with this. Women, if you want us to stand behind what we call domestic violence or what you call rape, somebody forcing you, but you booking the freak.
Yeah, make sure you standing on the right grounds.
It makes it's a creepy situation for anybody to touch. And I'm saying to myself, like, why would I want to get in and help her for a lady when they go to the trial? She booking the dudes to come.
Right.
But you saying she locked up, she was brainwashed. Now they got some people get kidnapped and get locked in a room, and they been there for a long time. It's hard to get kidnapped when you're in one state and I'm in another state.
Yeah.
And that's a hard way to kidnap.
Right.
But when they want the money.
Yeah, money influences everything. You know, whether it's positive or negative. And most times we seeing with women right now, they all about that dollar. They found out how to get a bag through the lawyers. Yeah. And that's what they doing.
And you know the oldest profession in the world, huh?
What's that?
Prostitution. They got women that go to Dubai. And they call it doodle bath, where they let men take a number 2 all on them, or whatever. American women actually fly and participate in that and get a bag.
Now that's freaky.
So it's a whole. It's money has become, when they say the root of all evil, it surpassed evil.
Yeah.
It just come no morals, no standards. Mm-hmm. That's why when you talk about relationship, that's all it is talked about is money.
Yeah. But I am, I'm siding with Diddy, on this because I'm happy for the brother. We seeing too many of our black men go down, our black moguls go down on the same grounds. Yeah. We seen it with Bill Cosby. You know, we seen it with Russell Simmons, R. Kelly, you know, and now Diddy.
And then it's like, what a moral ground at R. Kelly case. Where your fathers and your uncles at?
Yeah.
Nobody goes to the police, but everybody care about you, but nobody goes to the police.
Mm-hmm.
But now he get caught and go to court. Everybody got a story now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, where you was when this happened? Ain't no amount of money in the world let me, my brother daughter,
go
she
through
15,
that. Yeah, go through
date
that
a 30-something-year-old man.
Yeah.
Man, if anything, I'd be whooping his ass.
Yeah.
They be saying, why you put an ass whooping on his brother like that? Shit, you know.
Yeah.
But it amazes me what people do for money.
Yeah.
And clout. And they clout chasing. This society, man, is messed up.
Yeah, it is. So, you know, and they still denied his bail, even though those 2 crimes that he did get convicted for is less serious. They denied his bail, you know, but they did say they're going to give him credit for time served when he do, you know, go back in front of the judge.
And when you look at it, the 2 he got, they did the Mann Act. I don't know if you're familiar with the first African-American heavyweight champion named Jack Johnson. He is portrayed in the movie Harlem Nights, the boxer. All right. He was knocking white boys out and sleeping with a lot of white women. So the Mann Act is a law that they put in place that I can kind of change who you date. So they put him in jail for 2 years. So now that's what Diddy is charged with, the Mann Act. And now, imagine you meeting a woman. I'm so glad that I'm about to get married. Imagine you meet a woman in Vegas. Mm-hmm. She come to New Orleans. Y'all like each other. Y'all stay in contact. You fly to New Orleans. Y'all have sex. Y'all have a good time and everything. You just give her some money or whatever and be like, you know, that's your own spending money while you out here. You give her $300. Look, while you out, you ain't got to keep asking me. Go ahead and spend it. You can go to jail for that now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's over state lines. You had sex with her. Now, if she just fly in and y'all don't have no sex and you give her money, there ain't nothing.
That's a gift.
But if she fly in and you give her money, and y'all have sex, 5 years later, now she mad with you.
She could bring up charges.
And now you.
That's a shame.
Man.
Man, y'all need to use that formula. You know what I'm saying? We got to start using that formula, brother.
The guy who Cassie was sleeping with, he's suing her now.
Oh, he's suing Cassie?
Yeah, the guy he was sleeping with. I can get the guy's name. And I put under the post when I seen it 2 days ago, get her for everything she has.
Yeah.
Not that I'm mad at her, but the situation.
Yeah.
I just want lawmakers to wake up. Right. And let's see
the tables turn.
If the humility and all the media gonna be behind him how they was behind her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. What else we got going on? What's going on?
Man, we have I thought we were talking about some politics, man. Politics.
Man, it shook up the city the other day, man. This the local.
Mm-hmm.
We already got 3. We got a former judge a former police officer, which is in Arthur Hunter.
Yeah.
We got 2 sitting council person.
Mm-hmm.
One a council president and one over the largest district in New Orleans, which is Oliver Thomas.
Yeah.
Now shook everything up. He was gonna run in January. He was gonna make a decision, but he said he wasn't gonna run. But he said the people have asked, and now Senator Royce Duplessis has jumped in the race.
Yeah.
Man, what you think about this?
It's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Look, I think gloves out. And the reason I feel like that is because I know a lot about the council people. Oliver Thomas and Helena Moreno. You know, they've been around so long. Who can't know them? Right. And also Judge Hunter, you know, I know of him also from just being, you know, in the criminal world. And what I say about all those people, they all are magnificent people, right? But are you right for the city? You know what I'm saying? For the positive change that we want to see. I'm still trying to get to know more about Royce, you know, our current senator. But I do know that I've seen his track record, you know, of creating positive change, getting bills passed, and actually standing for some of the things that align with my values, you know.
When he dropped that date, he came out with that young energy.
Yeah.
He came out on when he announced he was going to come out, he came out on Jeezy. I'm going for my city.
Yeah.
So I would say out of all the candidates, he's the one that's going to reach that. Older people already made a decision who they're going to vote for. But that younger generation, he wear Jordans.
Yeah.
Not the old Jordans. He one of the ones in style, up to date. Mm-hmm. So I think that, and he's young.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be the one that can reach, he'll be able to get the older vote, because his name, he got a good name in the city, his family name, and I think he's gonna be able to reach. So this match is gonna be on nip and tuck.
Yeah. It's like I said, the gloves gonna be out. This is gonna be a 12-round, 10-round bout. You know what I'm saying? They're going a distance.
And we going to run off too. So, and I would say that I haven't decided yet who I'm endorse. I hopefully when I endorse my little 4 boats go with me or whatever. I got a little pull, but I will say that him getting in a race shows the lack, because normally you don't get in a race like this unless you think you can win it.
Yeah.
So it's he looking at these candidates and say, y'all not the ones for the city.
Yeah. But also the people has been asking, you know what I'm saying? Like the younger people. I see all the other candidates trying to get the younger people involved, right? But as council people, and I'm not speaking bad, I'm just speaking facts. As council people, you already on a platform where you can incorporate young people and talk about bringing them to the table. The young people don't want to sit at a table where they being ignored at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We help them build their own table. You know what I'm saying? And govern it from the outside. If you still sitting at the table with your old ways, I don't feel like that's incorporating them into something that's already, have already went left.
And I will say this: the 3 that was before Rice got in there, it seemed like the same status. It seemed like the 1990.
It
election.
does.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
When he came in there, he brought some different energy.
Yeah, the energy was there.
And that opening night when he came out, he brought him out. So
he did.
I know he got him shaking.
Yeah, one day turnaround too.
So, I would say that it's gonna be nip and tuck. We encourage you guys to come on here and get the word out. Cause we won't ask you to solve questions to make you feel good. We'll come out to ask you some questions that you'll have a chance to answer any question. If you answer the ones from this podcast, you're gonna make a difference.
Right.
Because we want to sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah, I know that's
they
right.
go in them soft podcasts where you get the sugar questions.
Yeah.
Soft.
Yeah. Just answer what the people want to hear, huh?
Yeah.
They don't dive deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it's about. And the same here. I'm getting to learn all y'all more and more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never stamped what I'm going to do. But right now, I got a pretty good idea. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, we'll have our endorsements coming up, and we may cover the race. Who knows? We that type of show. We may cover the whole election on that day. We may cover it.
Come on.
Right. Who knows?
Come on. So bigger in politics, man. What's going on with this what is called?
The Big Beautiful Bill.
The Big Beautiful Bill.
And I always tell some people this, Rick. Don't ever forget this. Whenever somebody gives me all the information and I have to make a decision, I trust you because I can make an informed decision with the information you give me.
Yeah.
But if you don't give me all the information, how can I make an informed decision?
Right.
New Orleans is a Democratic stronghold. Every leadership position in New Orleans is Democratic. Mm-hmm. And they keep saying stuff like, they cut Medicaid. They cut Medicaid. What are they cutting? They never explain it to you. What are they cutting?
Right.
You're just telling me they're cutting. So I digged in a bill, and I see what they're going to cut.
So before you get started, are you Democrat or Republican?
I listen to whoever runs. I don't make no form of decision.
So you're independent.
I have voted for Republicans and I have voted for Democrats. I hear the issues.
Yeah.
So if I have 10 issues on the table and the Republican man answers 7 of my issues in the best nature, and the Democrat answer 4 of my 10, I'm gonna go ahead and vote for the Republican.
Yeah.
So that's just how I am. I'm not locked in. Nobody has my vote automatically, and that's how you get mistreated.
Right? Oh yeah. When you go off favor.
The governor of Louisiana ran, and he must visit certain spots in New Orleans. I really don't need your vote.
Yeah.
Because I know you ain't gonna vote for me anyway.
Right.
Because you're a Democratic stronghold. But if I thought he spent more time in Jefferson Parish than Orleans, but Jefferson Parish is a type of city or parish that want to hear the problem.
Right.
We just say Democrat.
Right.
So why I got to come when I know I ain't going to be welcome?
Yeah.
So I would say in that beautiful bill, everybody keeps saying they cutting Medicaid. I looked at
SNAP too.
That's what they say.
SNAP too.
The leaders of the Democratic Party keep saying it. So I looked into it.
I'm scared, bro.
No, they're not cutting it.
Yeah.
No, he put some provision on it. And all cuts ain't always. Every time we hear cuts, we think bad.
Yeah.
The 1.5 million illegals that was getting Medicaid and SNAP, you cut off.
But how do you know? How do you identify that?
If you come to this country, this is how it was under Obama, Biden, Clinton. You hop the wall. You can go to the hospital. Whatever the paperwork you have And they'll give you Medicaid and they'll give you everything.
So this pertains to our Mexican brothers and sisters,
our Hispanic brothers and sisters, whoever hopped the wall.
Yeah.
It's not even containing to them. A China man. Yeah. Whoever hopped the wall, you get nothing.
Yeah.
Off the dump. So if I was giving you $1 million and out of your $1 million, 200,000 was going to illegals, now I only got to give you 800,000 because I'm not taking care of them.
Yeah.
So they not getting nothing. So that's what the Democrats that's leading it, not telling you that.
So do you think that's fair though?
Yeah, it's more than fair.
So what about the children? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about the kids that they came here?
Born here?
Yeah.
That's why he's trying to say, well, look, if I commit a crime, my child have to suffer the consequences that I made. They got so many guys that sold drugs, Rick, and they had to go to jail. They kids rather had to go to foster care, stay with their mama. If your child is right now legal in America, this how it is, and you get caught, you could take your child with you, or you could give your child to the state, or you could give your child to a family member. But you gotta go. And your child is suffering the consequences of a decision you made.
I mean,
that's the same decision that American citizens
have.
No,
I get it, but how sure are you? Because I've been seeing ICE detain some of these parents, and they crying about their children. They don't know what's gonna happen to their children.
But as they crying about the children, if they do a bust in this building right now, I mean, you go to jail. We got kids,
right?
That got to be settled on the back end when we get our first phone call.
Yeah, but if you getting them out the city, then out the country. You ain't worrying about.
No, you don't they don't get you and you fly straight out of the country. They got a detention center that you're in for a couple of days and then they fly you out. So whatever the process is from them capturing you to the detention center or whatever, those decisions is made. They don't just get you plane out of here.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay. The misinterpretation.
Misinterpret. But like I said, with the Medicaid and the stamps, it's basically going to the illegals is cut off. And if you have a child right now from 1 to the age of 7, you can stay home. You want to get Medicaid and stamps. At the age of 7, when that child hits 7, the child still gonna get it, but the parent have to work at least 80 hours a month or volunteer somewhere.
Yeah, but I think that been into place effect also. That specific piece with the parent having to work, or that's why your dads and stuff get put on child support by default if they're not taking care of those responsibilities as far as food and Medicaid or Medicare. You know what I'm saying?
So that's one of the things that he locked down strong with that. But for business owners, you see the first time he was in there, a lot of people rushed to buy those Range Rovers, those G-Wagons. Anything that's over 600 on 6,000 pounds, you could write off completely. And that's why you see a lot of rich people start buying airplanes or whatever, because my depreciation I could write off.
Wow.
So that's with any vehicle. So as business owners, for us, that's good. What else? Another thing that he had in there that's mind-boggling to me, how people don't think the child tax credit. He increased it.
Yeah, I know. I seen that this year.
So, and not only that is, he put a cap on college tuition. When you start to see black people going to college heavy, the cap, they got people that was graduating from college and only owed $15,000.
Yeah.
So if you graduated in the 80s, like 87, by 94, you done paid off your $15,000. Now you go to school now, they want to put you in $200,000 debt. So for lawyers and doctors, they got a cap on how much they can charge you. By putting that cap in place, you're not going to overcharge this child. That mother can't pay for them to go to college. Now this child graduate and owe $200,000. So
you telling me they working on tuition? Yes, they working on fixing tuition, or they working on fixing the loans that they giving a student?
See, the college ain't gonna never say, I ain't gonna never stop taking money.
Right.
So the government, he got in place and said, nah, I'm gonna cap it. By capping it, the colleges is like this. They want their money up front. They don't like that back end money. Because that back end money I may not never get.
Right.
So they want you to go get a loan. So if I tell you right now for doctors and lawyers, I'm capping it at 150,000, then I can't get another loan outside of that. So that means the college got to accept this 150 for me to be who I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Not let me go to $300,000 in debt in the first 17 years in my career, I'm paying off for college $300,000.
Wow, I like that. So it sounds like some of them prerequisites and stuff is going to be canceled out because they charge you now. I know for prerequisites if you're getting into college.
Yeah.
And it really don't pertain to your degree. You know, I just figured that stuff out.
And by putting a cap on there, I think that it helps out a lot with people that just want to go to college because it put a caps on.
No, I like it because I'm currently in college right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So thank you for highlighting that.
Yeah. So let me see what else. For doctors, lawyers, let me see what else I had. And like I said, same thing. Go back to the what he said about Medicaid. Just to circle back around it. Medicaid is very important for the poor. The poor, it will not be getting cut off. So from 1 to 7, if you got a child, he just put the requirement in there that you have to either volunteer or work that many hours a month. But you still gonna get it. Yeah. It's not gonna stop. If you meet the mandate of what the government is, everybody should still get it. It should not stop at all. But what makes me bad that in this Democratic stronghold, instead of sitting down and explaining it to you,
they just keep saying they're bashing it.
They cut Medicaid. Yeah. They cut Medicaid.
I agree.
So by you keep saying it, I'm thinking that if you're a person that get it, that can't read as good, that don't understand politics like that, you think, man, I'm about to get cut off all the while. Nah, I just I'm cutting off. The reason why it's a cut, because I'm not anything that hop the wall. You're not getting nothing.
So how does that affect, the elders and senior citizens? Because my grandmother, like, she's really.
Not only does she get it, but guess what? It's no tax on tips. It's no tax on overtime. There's no tax on Social Security. They got people that only rely on Social Security. They got to pay income tax at the end of the year. Now they ain't got to pay no taxes. Yeah. You tax exempt. You take your ride. You got a free ride.
That's big.
So, but they're not going to explain that to you. Why should our elderly that put in all that money at 65 now and finally to their last, they winging it at the end. Yeah. They getting their little $2,700 a month and they got to pay income tax at the end of the year. Now at the end of the year, they ain't got to pay nothing.
That's cool. So, I like that.
And now, but why not tell me that?
Yeah.
That's why I say before I start talking, if you give me all the information, I can make an informed decision. Now they do got some things in the bill that we might not like, or might only cater to certain people.
Yeah.
But not to explain to people that this going to affect what it's really saying and what's really going on. Shame on you, Democrats.
Yeah, shame on you.
Shame on you. Just tell the truth.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
So the next thing going on, man, what's really popping in the city right now, man?
Oh, man, I don't know where to start at, man. Our great Essence Fest, man.
Yeah, Essence Fest.
Yes.
I got a lot to say about Essence Fest. But wait, first, I want to give you this. You talked about we had a bad hair day and all that, huh? It's a gift to you, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man, let me see. Who that is? Who is this? This Jim?
Uncle Jimmy. Uncle Jimmy. Shout out Uncle Jimmy.
So, Uncle Jimmy, there's some samples?
Yeah, man. Look like you need. They got beard. I see you got the big beard, my brother. There's only sample packs. There's some stuff that I really, I don't think that'll work on my African hair.
Let me see.
But it look like it'll work good on your hair, my brother.
All right, I'll go ahead. Shouts out to Uncle Jimmy, man. Shouts out to Uncle Jimmy. Yeah. Now you was there. What's going on,
bro? A lot. First, the first thing is getting it.
So is it miscommunication with time?
Is that because we discovered that people had two different ticket times. People had two. You want to move that for me, bro? Yeah. Thank you, Uncle Jimmy.
Thank you, Uncle Jimmy.
But we discovered that they had two different entry times. We had a ticket that was for 9 o'clock. My wife got on there and she ordered the tickets for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? We went 2 of the days. They had 9 o'clock. They had some people went through a different service. I don't know if it was an app or whatever they went through, but their ticket said 10 o'clock, right? The vendors and stuff was coming through the front door entrance where the participants, I guess, was trying to come in. They blocked them out. They had to go around. Like, that was the first part of confusion. We standing out there. It got hot at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was already hot. People flustered. They had people drinking daiquiris at 7 o'clock in the morning, bro. You come to New Orleans and think that that's the lifestyle, but the place is going to serve you. So they had some people already on edge. They, was out of it.
Right.
But people was ready to have fun. I did see that part. But the part that really got to me, and it's not only me saying this, I feel like we discovered that, what's the attorney's name?
Juan
LaFonta. I seen that he had something similar to say about what I'm about to tell y'all. About how these women stampeded the doors Bro, they had a man standing out there before we got there. We was in the top 50 when we got there. And after that, thousands of people coming. This man was literally the first person at the door, standing on the door, going to sleep because he waiting to get in. The crazy part is that man did not get in the building to like 1,000 person. They bum rushed the door so bad, bro. Handicapped people couldn't get in the door. Mamas with strollers couldn't get in the door. I had my son and I was scrolling. You know what I'm saying? I could not get in the door. And I thought our women had more class than that.
And so it was mostly the women doing it.
Man, it was all women. And not just women, black women. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
It was a disgrace. All to run to free stuff that's at your leisure all day, every day. I understand about getting in the environment. That's one thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But to be so disrespectful amongst each other, that's some real nigga shit. I thought that was only men.
And
you know what I'm saying?
They had fights too?
Man, yeah, they had fights.
Man.
I ain't see one physically, but I knew the police had to get involved. If it wasn't a physical fight, it was a verbal fight.
I seen a couple of verbal fights online, but I will say that the last couple of years, this has been a thing. My last 3 years ago, I was a vendor. Man, I was so disappointed as a vendor. Man, I was so mad. But I will say this: whenever you integrate coffee with something, whenever you integrate coffee with cream, you weaken it. And you talk about the tradition of Essence Fest and how strong it was. It's losing its luster because you start to integrate things or whatever, and it's losing its leadership, it's losing its style.
Yeah.
Now somebody say maybe they don't want to be in New Orleans no more. That's why they doing it like that. But to give a second class event, and I hear one of our superstars, the Nerve, go on stage at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I heard that.
Why? How somebody paid to see you and you would think that? And I to all my rappers and singers that give a piss poor performance, I teach classes on entrepreneurship and I teach vending classes. When I fly into another city, I don't even go out that night because I be so focused on giving a good class. Right. How can somebody pay you and you come out on stage 3 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah.
When I woke up and they were showing 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm saying to myself, I'm walking on the treadmill and I'm looking. They said she just coming on.
Yeah.
And they said she took a 50-minute intermission.
Yeah.
Who does she think she is?
I mean, that's what's going on within our culture. And not to put a bad outlook on our culture, I feel like just to clean it up a little and not be so hard on our women. I know y'all excited. You know? I know the people as far as the artists and the entertainers who came down here. I know y'all already got y'all money. But when are we going to deliver? When are we going to stop putting this giving people this outlook to look at us like we just at the bottom of the barrel? And women supposed to be our backbones. You would think you would see a bunch of men doing this type of activity.
You know, a lot of businesses go on vacation during Essence Fest. They don't just want to serve us.
Yeah.
They got companies that's around the CBD area and all that. They just say don't worry about it. They just take the whole weekend off.
But who is us? I mean, you talking about the black people or the women? Because the men not really there.
So is that dominated by women?
Yes. This is about health and beauty, and women are more vested into that.
So you think that they peeled off a little by? Because I remember when Steve and them used to come down here and do a men.
They had the suede, of course. They had the men suede for men, and yeah, that was there. I don't know what other vendors they had for men. But most of it is beauty, health, and beauty for women. Whether it's makeup products or hair products, is for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's dominated by the black woman. I hardly seen white women there.
Right. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. This is our city. We love having Essence Fest down, but Essence Fest, we have to do a better job. In the city of New Orleans, we done a great job hosting, but we even got to come together and have some community meetings on what could be better in improving Essence Fest. We can't have this look. It make us look bad as a whole.
Yeah, especially 30 years after. You know, this is the 31st year that Essence has been, operating and running yearly events. You would think that it'll get better and better every time.
Right.
That a system will be put in place, to make it seamless.
Right.
But, women, our black women, let's do better. Come on now. Because if it was the men, We'll hear about it.
Yeah, we'll hear about
We'll
it.
hear, but being called all type of dogs, you're silly, dirty. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not your appearance, but your attitude. You representing us bad.
Right.
On the positive side, though, they had some great things going on for Essence, man.
Yeah, man, some great things. It's like when it comes down to New Orleans, one thing is never gonna fail: food and alcohol.
Oh,
that's true.
That's a win.
In the music,
a win.
And you put all them elements together, it's a party wherever it's at.
Yeah.
So I would say that they have this guy on his name, Mr. Chime or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's a food critic. And to all the food critics that come to the city of New Orleans, I just want you guys to say this. Understand this. What tennis shoe get knocked off the most out of all the tennis shoes they have?
Jordans.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Because they're most popular, yeah.
What watch get knocked off the most?
What, Rolex?
Rolex.
Yeah.
Why? They're number one.
Yeah.
When you down here in this great city of New Orleans, we're number one. They have so many, they got so many cooks down here.
Yeah.
Because you get out of your car and go into a vehicle without a local guiding you and going to a place and order food, that doesn't mean because you see people in there, that's those people's opinion on how their food goes.
Exactly.
But that's not our top pick.
Right.
So most people, they got a lady, she been eating gumbo for 10 years, but she only had it from the French Quarter. I took her out the French Quarter, got her some gumbo. She started arguing with me saying, this not gumbo.
Yeah.
Because she only had it with the French Quarter had. And you know locals don't.
Well, yeah, we don't
eat
that.
The French Quarter.
Man, look, the best gumbo I had was from this guy named Mark Laws, bro. On Bayou Road. I used to work in this place. And it gave you that old feel and that old sense. A sense that you won't get in the French Quarter.
Oh, man.
These people put turkey necks and
but it's not even that. In the morning time, they get their food ordered in boxes.
Oh, yeah. You're right about that, too. Yeah, and bags like Popeyes, right.
They busting bags.
Yeah, they busting bags.
They bag busters. So, but the basic is there. It tastes something similar, but it's not there.
Yeah.
And even if you got some people, they got some people in New Orleans that don't know how to cook.
You're right. You're right. And they stand behind a grill.
And they, oh man, I rolled.
Yeah.
And then you
taste
and then you taste their food, you be like, you should have rolled over.
Right.
And man, but everybody do not know how to cook. So him and some guy got mad at him. I wish I had the details to tell y'all of the kind of review that he left. He was saying he was disrespectful in his review or whatever, and however it went. But the guy came on and rebutted him. But a lot of times, and then we get out that hate from Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Shreveport.
Yeah.
They start coming for us, and they always talk about our food.
Yeah.
To everybody, we're number one.
We number one.
That's why we are talked and criticized so much, because we're number one.
Yeah, and everybody gonna think they got good food if you the only one eating.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. And it's selling out. That's because you don't. That's the only thing there. But we got options down here. Then I'm gonna tell y'all another thing we do. If I'm by a store and I'm not really that hungry, you might see this store packed, but you going in there and get the New Orleans food, which is jambalaya gumbo. We going in there getting a po' boy,
right?
A chicken plate.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a long line, but we are not actually getting the food that you about to get. You about to get like, and I gotta call this company out. You ever ate at Melba's?
Yeah, I ate at Melba's.
You like Melba's food?
Sometimes I'm gonna be real. Sometimes I like their food. Sometimes
every time I try to be on bold, it got to be bold to go to Melba's in your local. I say, man, but their food is not good. But guess what? Packed and stacked with tourists, and they love it.
Yeah,
them red beans is not giving. I soaked all night.
What they giving, bro?
They giving. I've been out all night. So and it's things of this nature. So all cooks is not the same. If you want to come down, y'all know the people down here. Just go in somebody's local inbox and ask them where to go at.
Yeah.
Whatever. And what's some of the places you'll go at? If you was to go out to eat right now, give me 3 restaurants.
If I was to go out to eat right now, bro, I would go to maybe Thai Nola. Because I haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
But I hear so many good things about
Thai
them.
Nola, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
My company clean their kitchen, and also I eat over there all the time. My wife loves it on gumbo ramen.
Gumbo ramen?
They make instead of giving you rice, they give you gumbo with ramen noodles.
Okay, well that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And my last but most favorite restaurant down here is also a seafood joint. Is New Orleans Creole Cookery. That's in the Quarters. I had to take it back to the Quarters.
So
but
if I'm in the Quarters and I'm getting something to eat, I'm going to the gumbo shop.
You're going to
not the gumbo pot.
Yeah.
The gumbo pot is on Decatur. The gumbo shop is on St. Peter. Mm-hmm. The gumbo shop is one of the only restaurants in the French Quarter that make their own food.
Yeah.
So if you go eat there and you like it, you actually can order their food and they'll mail it out to you.
Oh, that's cool.
So they etouffee, shrimp Creole, gumbo, and all that. The gumbo shop is highly recommended.
Gumbo shop.
Gumbo shop. And The Exquisite. The Exquisite.
Oh yeah.
The Exquisite is my favorite restaurant.
Yeah,
in the
for
city.
Seafood. Huh?
Seafood, but he sell more than seafood. That's when you don't go down the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he sell oysters, shrimps,
that's seafood.
But I'm saying fried in, what you call them. But he sell gumbo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he sell gumbo or whatever. Shouts out Demone, Matthews, and I also get my hair cut by The Exquisite. His brother, they got a barbershop.
Oh, yeah?
Shouts out to The Exquisite Barbershop. I'll be there first thing next week. I need one. But like I say, and that's Essence Fest. As locals, we just want you guys to tap in with the locals. I mean, you get so far from they say an apple falls so far from the tree, you forget what tree it came from. And
right.
That's how it's getting away from the tradition.
Yeah.
Tying in with the locals. When you going through there and you don't see local vendors and you start seeing too many from way out of yonder, that's when you know you lost us or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
and that's what you're starting to see, you know.
A lot.
So we want to let y'all know that the book has released.
It's out, man. It's out. You excited?
Man, I'm super excited, bro. Look, I got like 4 or 5 inquiries already about the book, bro. Man, I don't know if they actually purchased. You know,
we don't know. I'm gonna go look in there.
Yeah, let me know.
So right now, a book of this magnitude that deals with business and deal with nonprofit. I want to ask you, which one of the critical things that you noticed that from nonprofits in business that hurt them the most?
I feel like when you stop learning, when you stop applying and trying to get knowledge, that's what hurt most, entrepreneurs, and, people really in general, honestly.
And what you're saying is so important. I tell people that all the time. We complain about going to seminars and going to the going into the rooms. When you watch Shark Tank, I watched the guy on there. He invented crazy glue. Mm-hmm. And he came up there with a nutty invention. And he said the most valuable things you guys have is your knowledge and your time. And a lot of times we just think that it's not that important or whatever. I don't got to learn that. I don't got to go to this class. I don't got to start reading books. I ain't got to listen. Man, and it hurt us.
Yeah.
Because
it's very important. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get stuck in a place where you stop at. The book should not be rewritten. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not the book, but success should not be rewritten because the foundation is already there. And we talked about a little that, with our brother Ryan Angeletti.
And it's not new. When you see the formula, let's say fast food restaurant, Rally's, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, all
use the same
color
formula.
red.
Yep.
All these logos got in there. Red is the most attractive color. Yep. Why you think cereal? All the cereals got the color red in there, especially the ones that cater to kids, and they got a cartoon character on there because they cater to kids. So the formula is there. You have to make the formula work for you.
Right.
And I think that when I get around other business owners that's consistently learning, it motivates me to see them take a formula that's already there, shape it, mold it,
and make it their own.
Make it their own and just run with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, our book, it's not new you're going to find in there. It's the discipline you're going to find there. Nuggets that you didn't know.
Yep.
But it's going to be in this book, and it's a great book for entrepreneurs. It's a great book for business owners. It's a great gift for you got that husband, that boyfriend, that son that talks about being an entrepreneur. When I tell you my biggest mistakes in life and business is not knowing.
Yeah, same.
Not knowing.
All the information just not being in one spot where I could grab it.
Right.
Because if you go to Google, the information is everywhere. It's like you going down a rabbit hole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a never-ending space. But with the book, we put everything from the profit side, the non-profit side, all there for you to understand how you want to structure your business.
And once you start looking at it like that, you become more respected as a professional. That's one thing I'm serious about. Even when I take my son to football practice, I walk around the track. I got headphones on. That's what I'm listening to. I'm listening to a book. I'm 2 for 1, really 3. I'm watching him practice. I'm working out, and at the same time, I'm still listening to him.
Yeah.
And now you know how crazy it is. I see people, not picking on nobody, big people sitting down in a chair. They should be walking that track too, at least. And then when I stop and I go mix and mingle, and I start talking to them, they'll say, "What you do?" And I'll be like, "I do this, I do that." They be like, "Man, I want to be an entrepreneur too. I'm about to get my business up." And I'm saying to myself, practice 2 hours. For 2 hours, you sit out here and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't even hit the track and get in shape physically, and then you ain't listen to the education to mentally to get your mind in shape.
Right.
So that's how we know that a lot of people stunting and fronting about going to the next level because you're not serious about education.
Yeah, just existing.
Yeah. So in this book is on Amazon now.
Right now.
We would do a book signing, but you have to follow us on all social media platforms or whatever. The name is there.
Yeah.
Put it in like that or whatever. So and you follow it. Once you follow us, we're going to consistently give you updates because we're going to have a book signing at Barnes & Noble waiting on the day. We're going to have a book signing at Melba's. I'm in contact with them. They're putting us a date on there.
Yeah.
So whatever. So for this to go through, you guys have to follow us or whatever. And what sense of having a favorite podcast if you're not following us?
I know that's right. So what? On all social media platforms.
All social media platforms.
It's EraBody's podcast, not everybody's podcast, but EraBody's podcast.
And man, like I said, it's been a journey working with this book, and since this month, going on my first month.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies.
Yeah, it does.
Man, we pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you guys seeing some improvement. I hope you guys seeing us getting better and better. But we got some bigger and better things that's going to continue to come to you guys. But I'm about to go into this right here, Rick.
What you got?
You right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? All right. Do you remember? Man, this is one of my favorite movies, man. Lean on Me. Lean on Me was a basic black man coming in there, taking no shit off nobody, laying law down, and changing the school. And this based on a true story. This movie is based on a true story. Do you remember the name of the high school?
Eastside High.
Eastside High. Man. This is the crazy part about it. You remember Steele from Juice?
Yeah, I remember Steele.
Now, Steele was the little kid in there. Steele was on crack at 14.
Oh, he was on crack in the movie?
Yeah, he was on crack. Mr. Clark put all the troublemakers and all the people that was on drugs out to school.
Mm-hmm.
And Steele, he took them up to the building and told them, jump. Say you on crack, letting your own life go by anyway. But Steele was on crack. Ain't that something? 14 years old.
Wow. I mean, but it plagues our community right now, you know.
I didn't think it was going to be that young. Yeah. I thought you had to mature into crack. I thought it was marijuana, then crack. I didn't know you.
It matured probably that fast for him. But I know some young kids on crack right now.
So, what's the youngest?
About 14. Man. But they trying all type of different drugs, fentanyls and all this other stuff too.
Man, to tell you this, I stopped at the gas station to see my cousin. And my cousin had to be in his 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hold on, cuz. Let me get from by this camera. And my cousin went serve somebody a rock. I got in my car and left. I thought nobody was selling rocks anymore.
Boy, rocks exist.
He said he went serve somebody. And I said to
real.
myself, I got in my car and left. It just shook my head because I ain't seen nobody serve somebody a rock in a long time.
Man, rocks is real, bro.
So I had to get from out there. The mail had to move, y'all. The mail had to move. And guess what? 2 days later, the police came or whatever.
Hit the spot.
Yeah, hit the spot. So, I ain't saying I sent them over there, but I got to clean up the city. I got to do what I got to do. I got to do what I got to do. Woo! So, next, do you remember on Set It Off, the women on Set It Off, not they superstar name. Do you remember the character names from the ladies from Set It Off?
Of course.
All right, give them to me.
I know TT for sure. She ain't getting the cut.
So TT.
We got TT. I remember Cleo. Frankie.
Frankie is
that's Vivica. That's Vivica. And I can't think of the last one.
Stoney. That's Jada Pinkett.
When they said her name
was Stoney.
It was Stoney?
Stoney, yeah.
All right, we need to Google that.
Well, I can take your answer. You can't take my answer.
No, because I don't remember Stoney. I remember Frankie. Of course, we know TT because but Cleo.
I think they got 3 iconic parts that I'm always remembering in that movie.
What's that?
When that man that girl say, they taking taxes out of my truck. And he say, bitch, if you don't like, excuse my language, you don't like working for Luther's janitorial. I said, Luther, a cold dude. Luther was cold.
Well, Luther been about that business.
No, Luther stole that money.
And then they jacked his ass.
Well, they didn't get all of it back, but Luther,
oh yeah, he the
I'm
one
trying to figure out how he got in that AC vent. Because they put it in the AC vent and went to the side. What made Luther go in the AC vent? And I get mad with movies when they leave stuff like that. That gray area, huh? And like,
the AC probably did break down.
But I ain't know he was the AC and maintenance man. I just thought he was the janitorial man. He probably had because certain janitorial contracts, you got the maintenance in the thing. So that probably why he went in
he
there
was over it all.
Bust that bag open and realized Luther was on.
Bro, that boy he had the. Oh, for the white girl. Yeah. That's Cleo. Yeah, that's Cleo. Iconic.
But I'm gonna tell you something else. Cleo's girlfriend never said a word. The one that looked like Eve.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say not one word in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, how you get a part just to be quiet? Man.
That's how impactful.
She stayed in the garage.
Mm-hmm. That's how impactful the movies was back then.
Man, I mean, but everybody give Cleo credit for going out like a G. Would have went out like that?
Like Cleo?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I got dreams of going out like that right now.
But I'm actually how much time they was facing?
They had to be facing more than life. I don't know. But it had to be life.
I think the last shootout.
Yeah, the last
before
shootout,
they didn't shot nobody.
Yeah, with the bank and then the dude who Jada Pinkett was messing with. That was the last bank that they actually hit.
Yeah.
With the black guy, I forgot his name. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he started to put it together. And that boy realized it was her the whole time.
That's why when she called him on the phone, she didn't say nothing. She would breathe.
And he knew it was her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever. He was in love, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in love.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good movie overall. That, said it all. And I think it's one of those legendary movies. When this movie came out right now, you probably was young, but Martin wasn't on the Martin show, and he had a line where he said, "Man, stop bumping the table." What movie that was?
Yeah.
What movie that
was? That was House Party.
House Party.
Yeah.
What you remember about House Party?
I remember the fun they was having on. I remember them big ass afros and little silly cuts. Speaking of that big ass part. What year that
was? House Party had to be, I would say, late 80s, early 90s when it came out.
Yeah. You know what that bring me back to? And not to cut you off, bro. I remember of seeing a picture of you. And you had this big ass part in your head. Yeah. Did that inspire you?
No. I always wear my part. When I get my hair cut low, I wear a part of my head. I'll tell y'all my secret why I wear that part one day. But when I was watching that, this before Martin and Gina blew it up. Man, that's how it was. One partner have a car.
Yeah.
Play had the car.
Mm-hmm.
He had to go around and get everybody a ride, and he had to pack and stack Martin's car with with all the DJ equipment. And he came back literally hours later to get Martin. I'm talking about Martin ain't much want to go or whatever. Man, but House Party, and it was just good movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's it remind you of your childhood.
Yeah,
that's how when we came up, that's how House Party was.
Yeah.
He was in there dancing. Now they say in the clubs they got sections.
Mm-hmm.
But even in houses now, they put sections in there, and everybody just stand and look at each other. Back then, you had to dance. Man. You had to be in there.
Yeah.
I remember dancing in the Desire on the Wall, y'all. My sweat had a body print on the wall. I was dancing so hard at Blackett party. Man, Blackett was making 14. I remember let us groove in there. Man, I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, it definitely was different, back then. I ain't danced too much, bro, but I like to see people dance.
That's what my partner Chop kept saying. Cut the light off. We had girls. My partner with no girl, he kept cutting the light on. Yeah. Cut the light off. Yeah. So you get rolling up in here, man.
Yes, Lord.
But that was those days, man. We ain't going back, y'all. We can't go back.
Yeah, so that was Do You Remember?
Do You Remember? Next, Do You Remember? Man, I want you guys, I hope you enjoy this show. I want you guys to follow us on all social media platforms. We really need you guys to participate. Let us know, do you remember?
Do you remember?
Let us know what you think about some of the things that we talk about. You come in a comment, we would respond, we answer, we follow with each one of you guys. And if you ever want to be a guest on the show, why wait? Ask. Send your information in. We would love to have you on as a guest. I'm the Honorable Daren D. Parnell, the street speaker himself. Rick, take it away.
And I'm your boy, Ricky. Y'all make sure y'all tap in and get the new book, Businessmen. It's out right now on Amazon. And it's up from here. Peace.